Whenever you start a new relationship with a girl, you always have to be mindful of her best friend. This is particularly true if you're dating the girls between the ages of, teenagers all the way up to about the age of 24. This is because her best friend ends up having a lot of influence in her life because they spend a lot of time together at this point in their lives, and their friends are really important. Whereas after 25, the friends end up being less important as opposed to career and securing a man for the future. It's their closest friends end up being their everything to them when they're young, when they're from teenagers all the way up to about 24. So it's important to pay attention to how the best friend feels about you, because there's going to be inevitably a tug of war between you and your girlfriend's best friend over your girlfriend's attention. Because before you came around, her friend had all of her attention whenever she wanted it, and then you came around and ended up stealing a lot of that attention away from her. And a lot of the times, your girlfriend is going to flake on her best friend to come hang out with you. And of course, that's going to make you the bad guy in her eyes, because you're the one that's causing all the problems in her life. You're stealing her away from her best friend, and it's going to be all directed at you in most cases. But it's important to pay attention to what kind of situation her best friend is in. If she's single, or is she in a relationship? And if she's in a relationship, is that a good relationship that she's happy in? Because that will determine the dynamic between you and her best friend. If she's in a relationship that's great and she loves her boyfriend, loves spending time with him, that's fantastic for you. Because usually that'll mean that she's not thirsty for your girlfriend's attention, so she won't work to try to sabotage your relationship. In fact, she'll help keep you guys together because she wants her best friend to be like her and to be in a relationship, like a strong relationship. Whereas the exact opposite happens if she's in a really bad relationship. She treats the guy like shit, cheats on him all the time, and she essentially doesn't really like the guy. She's just there with him for convenience. Or she's single. In either of these cases, she will usually work to sabotage your relationship. This is to monopolize more of her attention. And yeah, there is some definite jealousy when her girlfriend has a great relationship with you and she's constantly flaking on her best friend to come hang out with you. So all that resentment's going to be directed towards you. You will be the bad guy. So, what do? I'll give you a little story about how this played out one time. I was with a girlfriend for 2 years, and I knew her best friend. I'd met her several times, and she was always really nice and sweet to me when we met. But I knew there was underlying resentment there because my girlfriend would constantly flake on her to come hang out with me. One day, my girlfriend came to me to run a few things by me. She asked if she could go on a kind of double date with her friend. Let's just call her Kirsten. She was the friend that was out to ruin our relationship. But she wanted to go on a double date with him and some other guy that she knew from childhood. I don't really understand it, but that's the way she made it sound. It was like she was going to meet this guy that she knew from childhood. They were friends. Yeah, and they were going to go out together. And I knew right away this was a ploy to kind of ruin our relationship and get her to cheat. But at this point, I had such high confidence in the investment that my girlfriend had in me, the way she behaved around me. I had absolutely zero worries about her ever cheating on me, because she was so heavily invested in the relationship. So I was curious to see how it would play out. I was like, yeah, sure, let me know how things go. And I knew exactly what was going to happen. Sure enough, she comes back from the date and she's like, I have to tell you, Kirsten tried to get me to cheat on you with this guy. She told me this whole story about it. And of course, I just had to laugh because I knew that's what the plan was. And I knew my girlfriend wouldn't fall for it. Because when a girl is heavily invested in you, it doesn't matter who's hitting on her. her best friend from like elementary school or some celebrity guy. It doesn't matter. When a girlfriend is so like invested in chasing you for attention, chasing you for sex, like wanting to spend time with you, none of the other guys even match up. When a girl is heavily invested in a relationship, she doesn't even think about other guys. Other guys are essentially invisible to her. And that's the way it was with my girlfriend. So I knew there was nothing to worry about. But this just goes to show like the tactics that your best friend's girlfriend will do to try to sabotage your relationship. You'll run into a few of them. Like this one, they'll invite her girlfriend out on a kind of like double date and encourage her to hook up with some guy. Or she'll take her to like a girls' night at a party or a club and try to get her drunk and then push her to cheat on you with some other guy. Like, you'll never know. Like, whenever your girlfriend tries to talk to her about your relationship, she'll paint you as the bad guy and like try to convince her to break up with you. These are all common tactics about young girls trying to sabotage their girlfriend's relationship. And it could also look like the best friend actually hits on you to try to trick you into like hitting on her so she has proof that you're willing to cheat on her. This is a lot of the times guys get tricked into thinking that their best friend like really like wants to hook up with them. Yes, that is common, but a lot of the times it's a fake like interest. It's just to convince you that, oh, like it's try to get proof that you're willing to cheat on your girlfriend, that she can bring to her best friend and say, look, he was hitting on me, like he was up for sex with me. This is all like tactics to try to ruin your relationship with your girlfriend. So pay close attention to your girlfriend's best friend's situation. Is she in a happy, loving relationship, or is she in a shitty relationship, or is she single? In either of those two cases, you've got to watch out. You've got to pay attention to your girlfriend's investment in you. And if it's high, you really don't have anything to worry about. But if it's low, you'll have a lot of problems, a lot of drama, and a lot of sleepless nights worrying about stuff. So what does the proof look like? When a girlfriend is constantly calling or texting you every day, when they're eager to meet up, they're eager to have sex with you, they'll buy you things, they'll want to win you over. That's when you know a girl is heavily invested, because she's constantly chasing you. And when she's chasing you, she's not chasing anyone else. Someone can't chase two things at one time. It just doesn't work. You chase one rabbit at a time and you catch the rabbit. Once that rabbit's caught, then you can catch the other. That's the way it is with women as well. Once they're chasing you, don't let them stop. Keep them chasing. You don't have to worry about other guys stealing your girl or ruining your relationship. All right, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching.